give someone who already has everything. You give them the sound of a perfect share. Head to mychicagostate.com/rumble.code rumble. Chicago State Company, top 2% of beef in America, USDA, prime and premium Angus, hand-cut by master butchers. The kind of marbling that hits a hot pan and fills the whole house with that smell, that buttery meat goodness. You know, the ones spend $229 on any holiday order or your gifts arrive to your loved ones. Doors with 6 free petty ribeyes, plus free shipping. That's $240 in premium steaks, absolutely free. Then there's the unboxing, a black and gold gift box worth unwrapping, packed with dry ice, smoke rolled out when they cracked it open. Christmas morning energy. It's not just any swear, it's dinner that becomes a memory. mychicagostate.com/rumble, RUMBLE.
Other countries cancel New Year's. Why are we celebrating it still? Why is that, guys? I just seen all those people in Times Square down there waiting for the ball to drop. People were saying out of their mouths, I did not say this, that they can't leave the line because they'll lose their spot. So if they gotta use the bathroom, they just use it right there. Are you kidding me? I've been in New York my whole life and I ain't never went to no ball dropping. All right? And plus, people are saying that the new year starts on April 1st. That's why they call it April Fools. This is what people are saying. All right? I don't believe none of this stuff because people just say anything. But the fact that people are down there waiting for a ball to drop. For what? People done travel from all around the world to go there. Especially people that were in those countries that weren't celebrating it. Yeah, they left. And they said, I'm going to go to New York to celebrate it because they celebrate it no matter how bad the economy is. This is what people are saying, guys. But let's not forget, guys. Happy New Year's. 2026 is here. All right? So, I hope you got things in order because it's about to get real. Let's get it, guys. Hopefully, you're here next year and I'm still here next year. Let me know what you're doing today and let me know what you think about people still celebrating New Year's. I'm out.
Did you know the biggest threat of your retirement is not something that's talked about often? Our increased longevity in America means default retirement accounts like the IRAs, the 401ks, and the TSPs may not specific if you have over $100,000 in your retirement account. Get access to a free 2-minute report from Augusta Precious Metals and reveals the one step you can take to secure your financial future. Text SAFE SAFE to 35052 today.
What it is, bruh? What's up? And we riding on the haters, turned up. We some Murphy Burl niggas. We all about our skrilla. We smashing hoes, smoking hoes, flipping on the bricks, and we having the fit. Ain't that a bitch? We so fly. Why you haters gotta hate? We trapping good. We stacking money tall. We keep them clunkers eating. We smashing the magic bitches, so watch out. My shit is leaning. It's beating so hard like gorillas in the trunk. We so lit. I got the chop on my lap for you fucking haters. I got the antidote. You wanna smoke some dope? And Dice Game and Prince Ski is fucking up the game. We keep it vicious. It's like we stone at this. We ride on you haters. We some hood niggas. We all about our skrilla. We smashing these hoes. We smoking the throw. We flipping the
2026 is personal. After holding things together longer than I should have, I'm choosing myself without needing a reason. Less emotional debt, more honest choices. In In 2026, I choose myself without turning it into a
What's up? And we ride on the haters, turn up. We some murder real niggas. We all about our skrilla. We smashing hoes over. What it is, bruh? What's up? And we ride on the haters, turn up. We some murder real niggas. We all about our skrilla. We smashing hoes over.
2026 is a year of growth, clarity, and alignment. I step into this year with strength, confidence, and faith in myself. I release everything that weighed me down before now. I release fear, doubt, and any belief that I am not capable. I welcome possibility. I welcome peace. I welcome a new level of success and happiness. In 2026, I rise into who I am meant to be. I trust my decisions. I honor my boundaries. I choose people, habits, and environments that support my highest self. 2026 is a year of expansion. I attract opportunities that align with my purpose. I create results with ease, clarity, and intention. Every step I take brings me closer to the life I desire. I am proud of how far I've come, and I'm excited for where I am going. I am open to love. I am open to joy. I am open to abundance in all forms. This is my year of alignment. This is my year of peace. This is my year of becoming everything I know I can be.
2026 is the year of the Firehorse. Firehorse energy is fast. It doesn't hesitate. It doesn't wait for permission. It burns off what's false and propels what's real. That's why the past year felt like things were ending. Relationships, identities, old versions of you. That wasn't failure. That was clearing the runway. Because Firehorse years don't creep forward. They launch. This year is ruled by the heart, your health, your honesty, your life's work. If you felt pressure building, restlessness, a pull towards something more authentic, that's not anxiety, that's alignment forming. So at 12 a.m., when the year turns, don't wish, don't hope, declare. Say this out loud. I move with fire and clarity. What's real accelerates. I am aligned, supported, and rising. Comment 2026 for a tool to support your mind this year and attract all of your desires.
Turned up. Got ganja in this bitch, so blunts is getting burned up. Them niggas over there hating, but really don't concern us. Before I shake.
Grand Rising, everybody. This is Dice Game G coming back here on the We Are Business TV. And, I got to put some positive energy out here for the new year. And this is my prediction. 2026 is my prediction. You know what I'm saying? High vibrational message. You know what I'm saying? Because we all, you know what I'm saying? I'm going with nothing but positivity this year. And like I said, I want to thank all the subscribers, all the followers, all the listeners, everybody that's giving us support for all these, you know what I'm saying, these years. You know what I mean? Now we heading to 2026. Now this is January 1st, 2026, and I just want to put all the love and high vibrational, you know what I'm saying, energy out. Starting out this year, like I said, we really gonna be really hitting the streaming market right now. We're gonna be streaming a lot this year. And like I said, our growth, you know what I'm saying, we've been growing, the 2025, it was a year for us to, you know what I'm saying, start putting things into place. Me and my brother Dickie, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna make my prediction. I know Dickie, you know what I'm saying, he probably didn't want to do the prediction, but I'm gonna do it my prediction today about 2025. And like I said, I'm sending all number high vibrational frequency love out there for everybody. You know what I'm saying? For the ones who still educating themselves about about yourself and what's going on, and you still learning yourself. You still, you can come to my channel, come to me and Dickie channel, and on Telegram, because we got a lot of good information on Telegram. Because a lot of people sleeping on us on Telegram. We was growing for a little minute on Telegram. We still got 300 followers, members, on that channel. So if you're not members to that channel, please go and check it out. Check it out first. See if you know what I'm saying you can cope with the channel. And if you like it, please become members. So like I said, we want to keep that growing on Telegram. You know, even though we basically gonna keep that because we gonna flock back to it. You know what I'm saying? Just give us, give us some time. Like I said, we trying to build our studio up. You know, right now, we got the podcast equipment now. I'm getting all the I'm fixing to buy a mic, a $600 mic for the studio, so we can really, you know what I'm saying, start doing a lot of, positive things. And like I said, Dickie gonna start making music. We're gonna start be making music again. He gonna be making beats, and I'm gonna be, I gotta start my last album up. You know, the nigga that they love to hate that chat out for the last 2 years. But like I said, it ain't gonna be like what you hear in the industry. It's gonna be all, you know, what you know uh, uh what people need to know right now. 'Cause like I said, I'm really hitting, on a lot of key points on that album. You know, it ain't gonna be none of this shoot 'em up, bang bang, none of that crap. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be high vibrational. You know what I mean? It's gonna be speaking on. I'm gonna have put a lot of storylines to, you know what I'm saying, a lot of that music. So, but if you don't know about uh, my platform on Spotify. You know, just check me out on Spotify. I'm music on Spotify. And right now we in the year of the fire horse. You know what I'm saying? The year of the fire horse. You know what I mean? We gotta get you gotta get yourself us out right now because this year is gonna be a big year for everybody. You know what I'm saying? If you're low vibrational, you're gonna have a hell of a year because the deep state, the new world order is they trying to go in with put chips in people. You know what I'm saying? They've been putting chips in people, but they really go and trying to go into their new world order. But they know they're not gonna win. It's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us is waking up. A lot of us is not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it just real. They know they lose. Like I said, they're gonna try to do everything to keep people, you know what I'm saying, off balance, distracted, you know, and you don't need to be distracted these days. You know what I mean? If you already been, doing your meditation, you've been eating right, you've been fasting. You know what I mean? You've been doing, getting out there in nature. You know what I'm saying? Sucking up that good, they good air out there. And really, getting your chakras in line. You know, if you've been doing that, you gonna have a great year. But the ones who is still fighting between themselves, still looking down at themselves and thinking they are nobodies, and you're letting the others control you. You trying to be in this industry, you're gonna have a hard time. But like I said, because everything is being exposed. Everything is coming out of the closet. You know what I'm saying? You finding out, a lot of these people that now I ain't gonna say we, but a lot of us looked up to. Now you finding out that these people were sex trafficking, these people was doing all type of wicked things. You know what I mean? So now there are a lot of people. I don't have people come to me like, "Ice man, I thought you was crazy, man. At first, I thought you was out there, but man, you know what I'm saying? Now they trying to listen. Now they trying to, because I sit here and I meditate. I sit here, you know what I'm saying, really go, and do my research, and trying to find out, things I didn't know. Now I'm getting them in. I'm asking, my higher self. I'm going in my Akashic records. If people don't know about your Akashic records, everybody got Akashic records. You know what I'm saying? That means, you go back. It's basically your spiritual library. You know what I mean? You meditate. You go and get into your Akashic records, and anything you want to know.
Anything you missed, anything you thought you didn't get, you can go back and meditate and go into your Akashic records. Like I said, right now you should be thinking about your health. You know what I'm saying? You need to think about, working from the heart space, you know, being more honest. And then if you're working on anything, you know what I'm saying? This is the year, especially if you, like I told you, if you in your space and your spiritual space, and you're working on things, this is the time, you know what I'm saying? Your manifestation is really great right now. You know what I mean? So you can go on and start manifesting what you want. But like I said, this is about your health, your honesty, working from the heart space. And if you're working on anything, and if you put in your heart and earn effort and you're working hard for it, you driving towards it, it's going to work. Your manifestation is going to be here. Like I said, this is the year of the fire horse. This is alignment. Work on your alignment. You know what I mean? And like I said, right now I'm speaking from the heart. You know what I mean? Because, like I told you, me and Dickie is gonna be working hard this year, saying, really streaming and putting out a lot of messages. Like I said, we speak from the heart. We're not scripted. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people wanna, we jot down notes and stuff like that. Majority of the time we don't do that at all. You know what I'm saying? We speak from the heart. You know what I mean? We don't like I make my videos. You don't see too many jump cuts and nothing like that because, I try to, I try to keep it, speak from the heart, and you know what I mean. So that's just me. I always done that. So for the ones who, that don't think, I'm work from out the heart space, and like I was telling, we was talking on the live yesterday. We was getting into about YouTube. Saying YouTube, they like to, censor people. They like to, violate your First Amendment rights. Get you to change your vocabulary. Start have you talking, speaking like you used to say murder. You used to say retarded. So they trying to get you from saying certain words. So I'm just putting that out yesterday because they do that, and everybody want to get them YouTube money. I ain't saying nothing wrong with money. I ain't saying nothing about this. But like I said, if it got you going against yourself, you know, I'm just saying that's up to you. Everybody got their own choice. Everybody got their own path. If you want to sell yourself out for some fucking money, that's you. You know what I mean? But like I said, I'm here to spread the message. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like my message, if you don't want to, you don't have to. You can keep on scrolling. You can keep on go. You can go to another channel. You know what I'm saying? I don't really give a flying flood if you do that. You know what I mean? But I would advise you if you really want to, get good information and listen to high vibrational people. You know what I'm saying? Me and Dickie, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, we don't run from no one. You know what I'm saying? If you leave a comment, but best believe we gonna hit you back. You know what I mean? You look at all these people follow and they got a massive following and people, hit them up and, leave a comment or trying to get an answer from them. People do not answer you. Then people do not hit you back. They tell you if people like that, they don't hit you back. I know sometimes they have a whole lot of people that comes on and they click in and they comment. I understand they be you can't answer 1,200 what I'm saying comments, but I can. I ain't gonna even lie to you, I can because eventually I would get to you and I would answer your comments or whatever questions you have. But that just proves to people, yeah, if they don't answer you back or they don't really give a flying flip about you. You know what I'm saying? They just trying to get clicks and they trying to get likes. They trying to get their YouTube money. It is what it is. I know YouTube be making it seem like them checks be big. I understand, but I'm not gonna sell myself short, sell myself out for no fucking money. You know what I mean? It is put it like that. I'm not gonna change my vocabulary. You're trying to fit your narrative. I'm not gonna try to change my vocabulary because they want to have more control over you, condition you. That's what they are doing on YouTube. But people, you know what I'm saying? It goes over people's head. But people like Moa, you know what I'm saying? I check them out, I analyze the whole platform, and I know what they be doing. You know what I mean? So when they got you change, you saying unalive, you weren't saying that at first. You were saying, murder, what I'm saying, kill. You can't they trying to condition you on YouTube. That's why people are leaving YouTube. We told you YouTube is, it's gonna see themselves fall. But I'm gonna get off there. But we back into this prediction. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to, trying to predict the future because or the past. I want to live at the moment, but I want to put something out because you know a lot of people wants to know what's going on and what's going to happen in 2026. You know what I mean? And this is my opinion. This ain't saying this is going to happen. You know what I'm saying? This is my opinion. Everybody who do predictions or comes on, it's most of their opinion. You know what I mean? If they don't get the inside scoop or they know anybody in the industry or anybody that's there, what I'm saying, that this it really is their opinion. But this is my opinion, and what I see is going to happen in 2026. Like I said, I'm gonna give it to you real raw and unedited. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. You know what I'm saying? So for I go into for once that the ones that get is sensitive and don't want to hear the truth or don't want to hear what I'm saying raw content. I'm gonna give you a second to leave out the out the channel because you know what I'm saying. 2026. I told you we're not going to sugarcoat anything, and we're not going to what I'm saying because you got feelings, and you know what I'm saying. We everybody got feelings. Everybody I'm just saying, yo, I give it to you real raw and unedited. So I'm gonna get on out of here if you don't want to hear uh out streaming content. All right. I hope all of them gone because 2026. A lot of people been hearing about these massive changes and hearing about they they really trying to go into their new order agenda. Yeah, they've been trying to do that. They so far behind because of us. They so far behind because we're not buying the bullshit anymore. You know what I'm saying? They so far behind because they know that their frequency is rising up on the planet. It's coming from underneath us. You know what I mean? And they see it. They got their graphs. They see the frequency. They see the shit is rising up. Like I said, they trying to do everything. They're trying to block that. But we told you from day one. You know what I'm saying? What's coming? It can't be stopped. No one can stop this. You know what I'm saying? 2026, yeah, they're gonna try to keep on, the food prices are gonna still kind of rise. You know what I'm saying? The housing market is, you already know, you know what I'm saying? No, nobody's buying houses anymore. Hell, a lot of people ain't even renting no more because they don't have the money anymore. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, the deep state has control over that. They got control over the stock market. You know, I've been saying this for so long, and about the stock market because they have control over. They can crash at some bitch anytime. You know what I'm saying? We know it's got major bubbles in the stock market. People that went to school and got loans and stuff like that. It's all fraud. You know what I mean? People. You look at these kids now. You got more kids that's graduating from high school and college than any point in history. When I was in school, shit, we want to have like a couple of hundred was graduating. Now you got thousands is graduating from high school on their senior year. You know what I'm saying? College, you got more people of color, and people are, what I'm saying, are graduating, going through college. You know what I'm saying? So while all these kids get out, where they gonna work at? Hell, there ain't enough jobs for me. Like we told you once before, they've been lying to us from day one about what's really, what I'm saying, real. You know what I mean? See, school ain't nothing but a programming, what I'm saying, facility. And they pick and choose who they want. You know what I'm saying? They pick and choose who they want. You know what I'm saying? College, you got more people of color, and people are, you know what I'm saying, are graduating from high school on their senior year. You know what I'm saying? like I said, if you go to college and you go get in them you get in them frats or them fraternities, you know what I'm saying? 9 out of 10, you in a frat or fraternity, but 9 out of 10, you gonna get out of college and you gonna have a good job when you get out of there because, like you said, them frats and the fraternities are secret societies. Uh, sorry to hear, sorry to hurt people's feelings, but it is. You know what I'm saying? That's why they join them frats, join the fraternities. They get out, they promise they got a job because, you know what I'm saying? Like I told you, they choose and pick their own, you know what I'm saying? And they ride for their own, you know what I mean? So 9 out of 10, if you're not in them frats or them fraternities, I ain't saying that you're not gonna, get you a good job. I ain't saying it. I'm just saying majority of the time, if you are in those frat and them fraternities, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna be 100. You're gonna have 98% of the time you're gonna have a job coming out of college. But now you got all these kids are graduating from college and stuff, and then and I know for myself when I was a few couple of years ago, not a couple of years, about 5, 10 years ago, uh, uh, I knew I've been hanging. I was working around college graduates, and like I said, I was making more money than them. They got degrees. Even now, you know, I know a lot of kids done graduated college. They've been out of college for 5 years, and I'm making more money than they are. Hell, they bagging groceries. Just saying, that's what that's what they've been doing. They've been lining us from day one. Like I said, they pick and choose what they want. So my prediction for this, what I'm saying, this year in, you know, of of that market and when people, kids get out and they trying to get jobs, my prediction it's gonna be worse than last year. It's gonna be worse than last year. Oh yeah. Best believe it's gonna be worse than last year. You gonna be already having, kids are already upset because they working at they working hard for their money and they went to school for business or they went to school to be a nurse and stuff like that and they doing something totally opposite than what they went to school for. You know what I'm saying? Half of them don't even have jobs because it's not enough jobs. In certain cities, they're not hiring. They've been laying off. You know what I mean? So believe that what I'm saying, their prediction of people of more layoffs gonna be in 20 years. It's gonna be more of that. It's gonna be more of that. You're gonna see my prediction, you're gonna see a lot of stuff that we spoke about a lot of these people, especially the tribunals, you know, about cloning, all that information is gonna be it's gonna be out. It's gonna be more coming out, and you're gonna be like I said, brace yourself to get damaging information. Like I said, they're not gonna tell you in mainstream media. If they do, it's gonna be Trump. Trump gonna expose it. Trump know what's up. Trump held the tribunals. If people don't go back and pay attention or go check this out, go do your research. When Daddy Bush was that they had their Daddy Bush funeral, Donald Trump gave everybody letters that who attended that funeral. Hillary Clinton got one, Barack Obama got one, Jeb Bush and his brother got one. I mean the former president George Bush he got one. His wife got one. You know what I mean? Ellen, Oprah, all these sons of bitches got letters. Everybody want to know what was them letters about. And I'm just gonna tell you, it was about treason, and it had a list of shit they done. Like I said, right now they not letting nobody know because, like I said, if they let everybody know, people gonna freak out. People gonna have, they're gonna be mad. They're gonna be, they're gonna freak the fuck out. So that's why they can't keep this to the secret. So now they gonna have to, catch up and get people caught up, and really get to let people know what happened and they're gonna play it like, oh, it's in live time, but no, this shit happened years ago. You know what I mean? The tribunals happened years ago. Uh, uh, Hillary Clinton was, She got hit up for treason, and they executed her in 2018. So my prediction on on the cloning on out, well, you gonna really find out who was cloned and who been replaced. Now you gonna find my prediction this year. You gonna know it all. You gonna know it all. So get ready, and embrace yourself. So uh, I predict that people gonna be more awakened. People gonna be more in line, in tune with their higher self. People gonna really, you know what I'm saying, really start more meditating. That's why I said people's not falling for the banana in the tailpipe anymore. They're not. Uh, what's going on in these Democratic? Well, it ain't really. You know, they lied about that. It ain't too many Democratic states no more. They just want to keep you thinking. You know, it's people. It's still blue states out there. But even California turned red, but they don't want to say it. They don't want to let people know. But more of these more of these catastrophes, like you seeing the weather is really breaking, really tearing a lot of stuff up. Sinkhole gonna have more of that because if you ain't been keeping up that by what's happening in California, you know everybody predict California gonna be in the water before 2030, and we gonna see my prediction about that. You're gonna see a lot more of that evidence popping up here this year in 2026. That California is gonna be it's gonna sink into the ocean. Yeah, they made moves about that, and I know they've been preparing for that because I've been hearing about they still gonna probably uh, uh do some work of trying to get some underwater cities going in in California. You ain't gonna hear about this nowhere else. You ain't gonna hear about it in the mainstream media. You ain't gonna hear about none of that. They ain't gonna tell you the jack dilly shit. So quit trying to say, well, the news ain't said that. Well, they ain't said. They're not gonna tell you because if they tell you, you're gonna start figuring all this shit out. You're gonna start figuring out that this is more of a spiritual world than the physical. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna start figuring out that, you got underwater bases, you know what I'm saying? And extraterrestrials is bases underwater, under the ocean. Bermuda Triangle, you know what I'm saying, host the underground base. You know what I'm saying? They always say, well, ships be going across there, and you know what I'm saying? Ships they end up, under in the ocean, and they can't find it and shit like that. Cause just saying. People gotta understand what time we in, you know what I mean? And we in the 21st century, and everything that we thought that was impossible is possible nowadays. You know what I mean? So, you gotta, if you grown up with that old programming, you're gonna have to sit there and try to deprogram yourself and start all over. Start from scratch. I mean, start trying to, write your name, and, you know what I'm saying? You do everything, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to change everything, and then you're gonna have to re-educate yourself. Don't let nobody else do. You do it yourself. You know what I'm saying? You go do your due diligence on you, because only you gonna make it out of here. You know what I'm saying? Now, like we spoke about the religion. Now, I know this is a sensitive topic because a lot of people got their beliefs and stuff like that, and I don't knock anybody's beliefs. You know what I mean? Because everybody got the right to believe what they want to believe. But I'm just gonna put a little word, a little bug in your ear. Like I said, they've been using this religion to, keep us separated. If they divine and conquer that us with that religion, you know what I'm saying? They have us looking on the outside of our being for someone to come and save us. You know, believe it, everything you need, everything you possibly need, is within you. It's in within you. You know, God ain't in the sky. God ain't, down the street. God is within your DNA. So, you know what I mean? Do your own research, start meditation. You know what I'm saying? Because meditation is good. I'm telling you. Because when I was growing up, I thought, meditation and all that stuff was for the white folks. I really did. I'm just telling you real shit. I thought, meditation was for the white folks. You know what I mean? That's how much I was conditioned and was in that conditioning mode, you know what I'm saying? And it didn't know. But I did. I used to think meditation and all that stuff was for the white folks. Now, because I'm growing up, because ever since I've been out of school, I've been educating myself. Because when I got out of school, when I got out of school and started, really working and stuff like that, I can hardly read. I would barely know how to spell. But but after that, I was like, damn, I can't be no illiterate motherfucker running around here. You know what I'm saying? But not just that, I was waking it up at that time too. I started seeing things that they told us was real, but actually was fucking lie. So I started really, reading more, started writing. You know, I started looking at things differently. I stopped. So that's what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to stop, get in your four corner box, sit there, and really, look at everything, pay attention to everything. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people got a lot of, stuff, a lot of loud noise around them constantly. They don't get into their space and trying to figure things out. They don't get in their space and trying to, get a little peace and quiet. They got all these noise around them and they don't go and really, trying to find out what's within. That's what I had to do. I quit work. I, I didn't. I cut my phone off. I had them come in. Come and get my SUV because I didn't have no job. I couldn't pay for that car no more. So I had to let them come and get it. You know, that's what I had to do. A lot of people don't really know that. This is the first time I ever told that. You know what I'm saying? Here online. That's what I had to do. I had to put down everything. Thank God I have a beautiful wife, a strong wife that held it down while I get myself, balanced out. But that's what I had to do. I had to work on myself. I had to do my shadow work on myself. I had so much anger. I had so much, uh, uh, distractions. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was really distracted. But not just then, I was told by the spirit that I was having an awakening because I was every day I was looking up stuff. I was every day I wanted to know, what I'm saying, something. I was going into meditation asking, for for questions that need to be answered. You know what I mean? I was doing all that, and then all of a sudden, like I said, I had a awakening. I thought I was having a fucking, a fucking meltdown. Thought I was really, having a meltdown, but no, I was having an awakening. After that, like I said, I had to put everything down to work on myself. You know, so I was down for 3 or 4 years and trying to, get myself together. It takes time, yeah. A lot of people think, well, I'm finna go into it and think it's gonna be a day or two. No. You know what I'm saying? It depends on how much trauma you have. You know what I mean? Because, A lot of people don't understand the trauma starts at home. It don't start on the street. It don't start on it. It starts at home. And a lot of people still got their childhood trauma they can't let go. They can, but they won't let go. So it starts there. So, and it takes time to get over these things. That's why we were telling y'all years ago to go on and, you know what I'm saying, do your shadow work, go on and work on you. Because it takes time. You know what I'm saying? Some people need, 10, 20 years to get rid of that trauma. It takes time. And I'm gonna put it like this: me doing my shadow work, it took me down to 10 years to heal. Yes, yes, it took that long. So when a person talking about, they doing the shadow work and they heal from, I could tell. I could tell if you heal from your past trauma. I could tell. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it take more than 1 or 2 days. So when a person said I'm healed and stuff like that, oh yeah, I can tell after a while because I pay attention to what you say and your actions. It speaks loud. So my prediction for 2026 is humanity gonna start, pushing away from the government. My prediction for that, they're already doing it. People are already walking away from their government. They're already questioning everything. So people are doing it. People are questioning everybody, everything. And I'm so glad people started waking up because, like I said, 20 years ago, it was we had a whole community of dumbed down people, man. And they were so into this brainwashing conditioned system, you know what I'm saying? And they really didn't understand what we was talking about. So they were calling us crazy. They were calling us you need to take psych medicine. You know what I'm saying? And that's the worst medicine to be taking is psych medicine. They got kids on Seroquel and all these damn different fucking medication and it's really making them more crazy, make them more out there. We got old folks taking high blood pressure medicine and shit like that. When they take that, they can't get out in the sun. The sun fucks them up, and that's what you really need is the sun. The sun is healing. See, they know what they doing when they created these certain medications. They know what they were doing. That's why I tell people that if they get evaluated to take certain medications and stuff like that, I ask them, do you really need that? Do you actually really need that? And then when they actually start taking it, they zombify. And I wonder why they zombify because, well, I already know. But they wonder why they zombify because, you know what I'm saying? That's what the medication was created for. To start blowing your vibration, to start cutting you off, you know what I'm saying, of everything that it is, you know what I'm saying, cutting you off from the prime creator source, cutting you off and trying to, speak to your ancestors because your ancestors are not dead. No one dies. You know what I'm saying? Anybody wanna argue me about that about the soul language? Yeah, it is. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not taking it because I know for my experiences. I stepped out of my body and looked at myself sleep on the couch. Meditation, I third eye, we have all that. You know what I'm saying? So when you start hearing people speak on this and speak about, you know what I'm saying, third eye and soul and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Don't take it for granted because, like I said, a lot of these people have real experiences. I like it, like I had experiences. Like I said, I stepped out of my body and seen that actually I had a soul. Just saying. Everything that I was educating myself on at that time, you know what I'm saying? All the questions that I asked, you know, to my higher self and the most high, And I asked her to give me, I got it. So anybody want to argue me down? We ain't no spiritual being. You're a motherfucking lie, and I'm gonna keep telling you a motherfucking lie because I know from my experience. Same way with we talk about reptilians. You know what I'm saying? And I know you hear a lot of people that have their experiences about, you know, bumping into a reptilian or seeing a shapeshifter. You know what I mean? And you gotta be arrogant and you think we are the only ones because we're not. You know what I'm saying? We are one of many, bro. There's a lot of other beings out here, and you got a lot of beings interact with this planet, and they interact with us, but a lot of us don't know it. A lot of us don't know. You don't know, if a shapeshifter is making your food in a restaurant. Just saying, this is how close that we are. Of all this stuff is trying to start manifesting because we were talking about the the veil is thinning and the veil is. Yeah, I don't even think it's thin. I think the veil is gone. To tell you the truth, it's just us still our perception. We still not perceiving like we need to be perceived. So, like the guy came on TikTok, he was saying about that you can imagine how many, what I'm saying, non-human beings that we interact with on a daily basis. I'm not fear mongering nobody. I'm telling you what I know. So my prediction on about if we gonna know, I mean, as a collective that we ain't the only ones. For 2026, my prediction, a lot of that information it's gonna come out about who been interacting with us for so long, who we've been, thinking that didn't exist, that beings didn't exist, but actually we gonna know this year that we beings gonna exist. That's my prediction for this year. Because we ain't got long until 2030 or 2030. We ain't got long. Because that's when they are, the new world order, deep dark about agenda supposed to be fulfilled in 2030. We don't got long, man. We only got 4 more years. And they got to have humanity in a certain spot, in a certain point. And really they so behind. They behind like a mother. Because they know they don't win this war. They know they gonna lose. And everybody feeling a certain way about Donald Trump. Yeah, like I told you, when I'm watching Donald Trump like a hawk right now. Donald Trump knows what the Most High gave him to task him to do. You know what I'm saying? So I've been big on talking about him coming out with the real side of showing that the American people that he arresting a lot of these people, but he ain't saying nothing. A lot of people ain't seem like they ain't going to jail, but like I told you, that they already had the tribunals. Only thing I want him to do is put out down and put out the truth. If he got to put it out slow, if he got to put it out slow and methodically, you know what I'm saying? Please bring it out slow, but he's not doing that this year. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know why he's procrastinating on it. Don't know. But they already been working behind the scenes and been getting rid of a lot of these people. Like Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi got 6 clones. Joe Biden got multiple clones. Hell, Donald Trump got clones. So a lot of people don't believe what we saying about these clones and stuff. You don't know. Because like I said, 2026 is going it's gonna bring you bright, it's gonna bring it out for you. So you don't have to believe us. You don't have to believe us, but you're going to see for yourself. Remember, when I say that, All you gonna see, you gonna really see. You know, what I'm saying 2026 is basically you know 26 itself is a lucky number for me anyway. So this is gonna be our year of exposing this shit, exposing what they've been lying to us all along. Like I said, the mainstream media ain't gonna tell you none of this shit because they work with the cabal, they work with they work with the system. So you're not gonna hear none of this shit. So when you still trying to think you're gonna hear from the mainstream media, you're gonna be waiting for a long time. The world's gonna be already shifted before you really before really they ever say any fucking thing. So, but 2026, this is a year for you to if you're working on something big, you're working on something special. You know what I'm saying? It's the time for you to manifest. You know, like I said, work on your health. Be more honest. This is the year of the fire horse. Please get yourself in line, in tune with the frequency. But like I said, they still trying to, trying to run distractions so we can get off that frequency. People like us, they're gonna be trying to real more attack, trying to bring our channels down. They're gonna really try to still keep censor us and stuff like that. They're gonna keep still doing all this shit until it all crumble down. Like I said, you seeing Babylon falling right now. It's fixing to really fall drastically in 2026. Like I said, the religion is going to be exposed, and it's people going to really keep walking away from this religion because 2028 get here. That's when the religion is what religion? It ain't gonna be no more religion. This is what I got into in the spirit about the religion. So they show us in movies. They show us, they tell us, they have to tell us. That's the universal right, this universal law. Uh, I, before I get out of here, I want to speak about this, this this Anthony Joshua and fucking Jake Paul. Uh, People already diagnosed this, and I'm so glad people diagnosed it. Looking at this the way they should be looking at this because these guys, they know the order. They took the oath like everybody else is in the industry. You know, I just can't believe they thinking people is not up on their shit now, and and thinking they gonna still keep getting away with sacrificing people because that's what Anthony Joshua did. He sacrificed his two friends for that $50 million because it ended up with $90 million from between the both of them. $90 million, and Jay Paul came out with 40 million, but he did a humiliation ritual. He looked like a clown out there, knowing he can't. He knew he couldn't beat that big man, even though they ain't even do no fucking ritual that he could not beat Anthony Joshua. I'm just saying. Anthony Johnson been boxing ever since he was a young shorty. You know what I mean? Same way with Mike Tyson. We know he couldn't be Mike Tyson. Tyson sold out for the money. He took that $20 million and ran with it. This is what I want to. This is another thing. Why these people? That's why I say they play us and they be playing on us and they think it's funny. They think it's a joke. People been putting their hard-earned money to watch these fights. Well, not fights. These clown shows. Now they should be more smarter than this, knowing that people are it's awakened now, and they can't keep getting away with what I'm saying, setting up these fights because 2026 now we really gonna see through the veil. Ain't nothing gonna be hidden from us anymore. All this shit is gonna be coming out, and it's gonna come out in bunches, man. Just saying, it's not going. We not going backwards. A lot of people been saying, "Oh, ever since 2020, it ain't been the same." It ain't been the same for me ever since 20 fucking 12. Just saying, we not going back to the old. We in the new now. So now you got to start embracing people that's putting out this message, this information. You know what I'm saying? The more you keep running from it, the more, you know what I'm saying, you gonna be you gonna be touched by, you know what I'm saying, the truth. Cause the truth, you know what I'm saying, it hurts. You know what I'm saying? Cause you thought you had everything, you thought you had everything organized and stuff, but now realizing that, you know what I'm saying, you going backwards the whole time. So just saying, start embracing this information. Start embracing, people that is really, putting out this information, and I mean, and start embracing that. Start embracing yourself and your energy, and quit allowing people in to your space that's low vibration. I've been telling people this for years. You got to start cutting people off that is not making your life any better and it keeping chaos and shit in your face. You got to start cutting them off. I know it's hard. Even your family members, I know it's hard. I know you still got love for them, but do you love yourself? If you love yourself, you will do these things because your soul have its own path, got its own, you know what I'm saying, direction it need to go. You know what I mean? I know people starting out, stop, what I'm saying, worshiping these clowns in the industry, and that's good. That's good and fine and dandy. But do you understand what's really going on today? You know what I'm saying? So stop worshiping these people. These people, you know what I mean? These people sold out because they want a little fame or they want some money or they want some dope or they want bad bitches. I'm just saying. So I want to thank everybody for listening. So that's my prediction. In 2026, 2026 is going to be, like I said, whatever you think 2026 is going to be, you know, how you thinking, how you feeling, and how 2026 is going to go for you. It's how you feel and what you do in your life. You know what I mean? So that's my opinion about 2026. All this stuff I've been speaking about was prediction about 2020. That's my opinion, yo. But truthfully known, and this the truth, you gonna know what's really going on this bitch. I love you all. Thank y'all for listening. Please share this long and wide. You know what I'm saying? Please share this with your cousin. Share this to your auntie. You know what I'm saying? Find your sleep cousin, your sleep, you know what I'm saying, sister. It's still, you know what I'm saying? But knowing send it to people that really want to, really want to know. Don't send it to people that is closed off and you be like talking to a but Rob, send it to people it's really trying to wake up. Send it to them. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's not going to wake up, truth be told. But the ones that you see that is trying to get there, send it to them, share it to them. You know what I'm saying? Follow us on Telegram. You know what I'm saying? Follow us on Instagram. I'm at Dice Gang 615 at Dicky underscore Junior 19. Follow us on Big Shoot. We on Big Shoot too, as we are Business TV at Dice Gang 615. You know what I'm saying? Please, we need more people on YouTube. Even though we know YouTube's going to crash, but we need people. We need people on YouTube. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Please comment. You know what I mean? Like I said, if you want to donate, the link is gonna be in the description. So you can cash at me. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't want to, you don't pay. It's good. We ain't not here for money. We here for, what I'm saying, exposing this deep dark system. You know what I'm saying? Find us on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? I'm on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? The link is gonna be in the description. Please, you know what I'm saying, follow. I don't do I don't do none of the conspiracy stuff on fucking TikTok. Yeah, I mean, I just put, funny clips and stuff on TikTok. Because TikTok is worse, really worse than YouTube about you know bringing your content down, and they really picky on what you say and stuff like that. So that's why I'm putting up funny clips and stuff on TikTok. But please follow us there too. You know what I mean? So I love y'all. I love y'all. And I hope y'all 2026 year, you know what I'm saying, is gonna be a prosperous year for you. You know what I'm saying? Plenty of love, plenty of honesty. You know what I'm saying? If you're working on anything, I hope everything works out for you. Hell, if you working on something that's gonna give people a job, hell, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I'm saying? I got a job, full-time job right now, but if you need some help, you know what I'm saying, get your stuff started, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? I ain't scared to make no money. You know what I'm saying? I ain't scared to work for it either. Hit me up so I can help you be prosperous in your, you know what I'm saying, your job. So this is the year of the workhorse. Please be alignment, balance yourself. So I love you all. Thank you for listening, and I'm out.